Greetings, everybody. We are going to show you another Ubuntu image walkthrough on the solution on this one. This one is actually a redo, a rework. I found this Aeacus Zuniga, so I'm not sure if that's an actual person, but I'm guessing it is. They came up with this practice image. Anyway, it turned out that the score engine that they had wasn't getting getting all the scoring. So I redid it, but it's all their legwork pretty much. Most of their legwork to getting all the vulnerabilities still in there. But I added some additional vulnerabilities, and I started using this new Aeacus scoring engine, which is fantastic. Which is much better than this SEL scoring engine that's out there. But that's still a good scoring engine, but Aeacus is just it's fantastic. I've been enjoying it immensely. Anyway, with that, you're going to see that we have what comes up immediately when you download it and bring it up on VMware. You'll have this README popping up, and you'll have a scoring report. So there's 41 security issues that you have to find. It's not as hard as the last one. It's actually fairly more straightforward. There are some newer issues. That's not an exact copy of the flash scoring one that we just recently uploaded, which is a very good one, by the way. If you want a nice challenge, it has a nice challenge in it. This has some individual challenges as well. We'll get through them. We had worked with this with my students this week, and so they actually did quite well with it. So, but the first thing to do on any image is you have to go through the README. So we're going to go through the README a little bit, and like every README, this is basically a boilerplate. Unique identifier. Don't worry about that on this image. It's already pre-done for you. Forensic questions. There are a couple of forensic questions here. There are 3. You'll have to answer them. They're actually a little bit challenging this time. So that's good. You always want to have a nice, fun, challenging forensic question. 16.04 again. And again, this is all a lot of this boilerplate what you see in Cyber Patriot competitions. So again, management side, the default web browser for all users should be the latest stable version of Firefox. Okay. Good to know. And administrators, the company policy is never let everybody log in as root. So you can't just log in as root. If administrators need to run commands as root, they are required to use a sudo command. All right. So again, we won't have any root we'll get root privileges, but we can't log in as root. So. Forensic questions. Again, there's 3 forensic questions here, and you will receive. They are all scored. But anyway, some of them are quite challenging. It can take you a little bit of time. You might have to research it. Again, Google is your friend if you don't know how to do something. And there's lots of good information on the web. I can answer your questions, or at least help you get to the right answer. All right, so the competition scenario is Mr. Rizzo's upgraded his studio. So we're basically using a lot of the README from the original Aeacus Zuniga README file. So this is all, again, credit to them, and kudos out to them for what they did. But anyway, we did make some, like I said, did make some changes. So unfortunately, Eric gave an unsecured Linux image, and as a dedicated video production student, you must make sure this computer is secure. So he likes SSH. Obviously, tells you that's a critical service. And Mr. Zuniga needs access to the computer at any time, so don't change the password for him. So that's, again, that is you. When you get logged in here, that's you. So that's basically a very innovative way of saying that. I like that. So very well done. This computer's security policies require all user accounts to be password protected. Employees are required to choose secure passwords. However, this policy may not be currently enforced. So we're going to have to, obviously, this is a clue. We need to make sure our password policies are enforced. It's very important to write down all passwords you change, and we'll be changing passwords. CCSD, I guess that is, I'm not sure what, because there's a company name up here, requires that all computers be free of hacking tools and non-work related files. The company currently does not use any centralized maintenance or polling tools to manage their IT equipment. This computer is for official business only and only by authorized users. All right, it's one computer. UFW, which is a complicated firewall, is the only approved firewall for this at this time. And we're only using 16.04 on this computer. It's also company policy to use the latest stable version of Ubuntu 16.04. So again, they don't want 18.04 put on here. So that's another clue. They also decided the default web browser on this is going to be, I think we read that somewhere, but anyway. So no other browser authorized. Again, don't let anybody log in as root. And if you do run commands as root, you have to use the sudo command. All right. Let's see. Critical services, OpenSSH. Okay, a lot of clues. Eric Zuniga, that's you. So there's your password. So super secret, don't tell anybody. Anyway, so we got a bunch of other admins here. We got 3 other admins, and we got a couple other authorized users. Here's some guidelines here. All right, so let's get started. So we did the README, and let's start going with the forensic questions. And so it says using the SHA-256 command in Linux. What is the SHA-256 hash sum of the string hello, my name is Thomas Crusoe? So all right, the way to do this is let's go ahead and open a terminal. Open a terminal is Control-Alt-T as in terminal, and then so we get a terminal here. And you should be able to do this with just the regular Eric Zuniga user. So what we're going to do is take this string, including the everything inside the quotes. We're going to copy that, and I'm going to basically echo it to a file. So I'm going to say echo, and then I'm going to paste that. Paste what I just did, and then echo that to stuff. So I got a file called stuff. So if I look for stuff, there it is. There's my stuff. So now I got there's a nice program out there called what is. You can say what is SHA-256 and there you go. So there's actually a program out there called SHA-256 on your Linux box. And so we're going to go ahead and it actually computes and check the 256 message.js. So we're going to go ahead and real simple. We're going to say SHA-256 and the file name, so which is stuff. And there now we got a SHA-256, and we're going to highlight that, copy it, put our answer here, and we're going to paste it. Good. And you always want a space between answer colon and your answer here. We say save, and let's see. And we got points off. Okay, opening up question number 2. There is a file somewhere. Okay, it doesn't say where, in the user's directory. So, okay, we got a hint here, start in the home directory with the parameters human readable, and they give us the exact byte size. So it's actually only 77 bytes. So using the find command, what is the name of the file along with the absolute path? So our answer should look something like this. So basically, hint, you can pipe your output of the find command to the file command, but don't forget XRs. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. So we're going to go ahead and what we're going to do is we're going to, since we're going to be going across multiple directories, which we may not have privileges to, we need to do a sudo su. So sudo su and my password in here. Zuniga. And we're going to go ahead and run our find here. So it's starting in the home, so we will find slash home. And we know it's a file, right? So they actually say it's there is a file, so let's type F. And let's see, what else do we know? We know the size, right? We know size is 77 bytes, so we actually do a size command. And if you know the exact bytes, you go dash size and with the exact number, but you need a C at the end for bytes when you reference it. So now they actually talk about doing a let me move this over here a little bit so you can see about piping it over to the file command. So we're going to go ahead and use the pipe here, and they say don't forget that xargs. So you need xargs. So when we pass that parameter is passed to the file command. So we just say xargs file, and we'll go ahead and hit enter, and there we go. And so human readable, that means it's ASCII text. So there's our answer right there. Whoops, colon. Copy this, take the colon out of it, paste it. Oh, let's get rid of the colon. There's another way of doing it. Let me go ahead and save it. Yes. So another option you could do on this one, you can still do the find. Instead of doing the piping xargs, you can use the dash execute option, and then you go file, and then you use the braces, and then you do a plus sign, or you can do a backslash semicolon. And you can see it came up with the same exact answer. So you can do either way, but if you're going to do if you do it just the pipe symbol, you need the xargs. All right, let's try question number 3. There's a C program in the documents folder. You need to compile it, run it, and tell me its output. Okay, so I'm going to show you that you can actually do this. So I'm going to keep this one in root. I'm going to go ahead and create a new terminal, and they say it's actually in the documents folder. So I'm going to say change to the documents folder. There we go. You get a listing of this side of this folder. And there we go. We got CTF code 1. So that's our C code. So we need to compile this. So of course, Google's your friend, and you can actually do a Google search on compile C program Linux. Right. So you can actually, how would you do that? So you can, let's try this one here. This looks like a pretty good one. So down here is actually a couple options. So they were basically saying to make sure all your GCC is one option to run. So I can find it. There we go. So here's your 2 different options here. So we're gonna have, we can say CC, our source code .c, and then we have a -o for executable file name. Or you can use the GCC compiler. Again, it's the same sort of parameters. So I'm gonna show you two different ways of doing this. I'm gonna show you that all you need is this first part. You don't need the -o. And if you don't do the -o, it automatically creates an output file for you. It's the default is the a.out. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in ctf code 1.c, and let's see what it makes. So there's our a.out, and when I run it, so to run code, you want to say // and the name of the file. So you want to run that file within that directory. Otherwise, it's going to search through your path. So we're going to go ahead and run that, and there we go. Here's our answer. Go ahead and just copy that, copy the whole thing, and let me go ahead and paste it. All right, let me go ahead and save it, make sure that's correct. Okay, all right. So let me show you the other way of doing it. I'll use the GCC, and you'll see it does the exact same thing. So GCC, and we want CTF code 1.c, and we're going to say -o, and we're going to say, I don't know, CTF exec. Okay, and then let's see what that does. I'm going to list something. There's my CTF exec. So when we run that program, CTF exec, you can see it actually produces the same output. So either way works. So fantastic. So look at our scoring report. Let's go ahead and refresh this, and we get all 3 forensic questions. So excellent. So the questions, there's also, so question 1, we got that, right? The hash sum. We got number 2, that's the human readable file, right? So, and that was the Zuniga users. That was interesting. You know, let's should probably check that one out, actually. I'm kind of curious what that file is. So let's just, out of curiosity, let's just see what that file is. Users. And oh, that's interesting. Look at it. It actually has a list of users in the system. That's probably a no-no file. So we probably should get rid of that file. So we'll have to make a note of that. So we can actually get rid of it now. So we're going to go ahead and do it now. RM users. Hey, and source points too. So sometimes you have to, if you don't remember to do it right away, you have to come back to sometimes these forensic questions, because they do clue you in that there might be something you have to do. And in this case, we actually had to also, this file needs to be removed. So, and we got points for it. All right, very good. So that's, all right, so we're going to put this up here. So our next item we're going to be doing is setting up getting our user accounts going. I'm sorry, we're going to get our updates going, and then we'll do our users. So so you have a couple options here. So you're looking for this wheel here. So this is, go ahead and run it here, and that should bring up this your system settings. If this wheel is not over here, then you can click on this wheel and then click on your system settings, and this pops up. If neither one of these are available to you, you can also go up to the search, there we go, and type in software. Software, it comes up with software and updates, and that's the one you want. Go ahead and get out of it. So let me go ahead and start this program. And we're interested in 3 tabs: the Ubuntu software tab, the other software tab, and the updates tab. So we want all 4 of these clicked, basically all but the source code. Server for the United States is perfect. Nothing to change there. Under other software, we want to click on both canonical partners, and we need to put our password in. So go ahead and click on both, and then check for updates, and we get all 3 of these checked. And we want this to be daily. Automatically check for updates daily. And the next thing we want to do is make sure that notify me of new Ubuntu version. Again, remember, we wanted to stick with 16.04. So we're going to go don't never tell us about the new version. An update, yes, but not a new version. So we're going to hit close. It's going to prompt us if we want to reload. We're going to say no. We're going to say close. We'll get that done here soon. So I'm going to go ahead and we're done with this one as well. Close that out. And I'm going to get this started. So I'm going to change to the Etsy directory. We're going to go apt-get update. And when that's done, when that's successfully done, we want to do an apt-get upgrade. And then we're going to follow it with a -y, which means just go ahead. If there's a yes/no prompting, go ahead and answer a yes for it, because that way it takes care of all in the background, what makes it nice and easy. So we're going to let that go. So that's going to take a good amount of time. So while that's doing its thing in the background, we can start working on some other things that don't have to do with any updating, any installing or deleting or removing of applications. So one of the things we like to do in this case is actually go ahead and bring in, let me get the, So we actually have a nice little a script that does this. So let me share this script with you. It's using the all command, and we need to do a sudo sudo in here. So sudo su, and we put the password. Let me go ahead and go to the Etsy directory as well. So we're going to go ahead and the command that we have, paste it in there. So it's basically looking in the Etsy password file, and it's looking for the third position is your user ID, and it's looking for any user IDs greater than or equal to 1,000 but less than 6,000, which is basically the range of all the users. And then and if we want to print out, we're going to change the password, so we're going to set password and then the name of the user, which is field number 1, with us changing the password from what chosen the mypass.txt. So let me just run this so you can see what the output looks like. So you can kind of see it's saying password, but if you notice, I actually have a hashtag there, #. So that basically that's going to basically comment it out, and you'll see why I did that in a second. So I need to rerun that same command, but I'm going to output that. I'm going to send that output to another file called myusers.sh. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now we just need to edit that file, myusers.sh. And we're going to now compare this file to the README. So we're going to go back to the administrative, the authorized admins. So I like to go from the top down, and as I go through each one, I'll unremark it. And there's a couple exceptions to that. So, well, actually, there's definitely one. So that if it's you, that's Eric Zuniga, I won't uncomment it, but I will make some changes on it. I'll get rid of the command saying password, and I'll just say this is me. Don't touch. Right. So this lets me know I already processed through that one. Trizzo is the last one, so I'm going to take away that hash chat tag. So we're going to change his password. In fact, we're going to change everybody's password. R. Davis is next. And what's nice is that if we leave if someone's remaining after we go through this list on the right, and there's still someone on the left that's still commented out, that's not you, that means that person needs to be deleted. So we need to, okay, so we just did R. Davis. After R. Davis, Pate. Let's get rid of the hashtag for Pate. Tampa. So we'll get rid of that. So we know that bad boy, very top. All right. And then we got L. Griswold. And then after L. Griswold, we got Samer. And after Samer, we got Ellie. And after Ellie, we got D. Snow. All right, so who do we have left? So we have J. Strope. So we actually can see that J. Strope is someone that's not on the authorized user list. So we need to get rid of him. So the way to get rid of him is change that to user del. So we're going to actually say user del, and then get rid of the rest of the line. So if there's someone we needed to add, let's say a new user or something like that, then we could add them at the end here. So this should be it here. We're going to go ahead and save it. We do need to create this file here next. So I'm going to go ahead and save it and get out of that. And what we need to do next is actually go ahead and create that mypass.txt file. So the way I do that is we actually go in and we echo and we create a password. Since it has $signs, these are special characters, we need to use the backslash to use the literal $sign. Otherwise, it's going to think it's kind of special, something different inside the echo command. So we don't want that. So we're going to say this, and we're redirecting the output to mypass. And we're going to do that twice. And if this is an append command, it will create if it's not there. So now we actually have two files, starting with mypass.txt and myusers.sh. So if you want to see what's inside mypass, there's our two password 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and we need to change myusers.sh to be executable. The way you do that is you use a chmod, add the executable bit, and we need to the myusers.sh. So now we run this. You can actually see it actually has the executable for it. So now we can run it. So to run a program, just like we did the other one, we just say ./myusers.sh. And it's going to update all these passwords, and we got points. Alrighty, so that's good sign. Next thing we want to do, work with, since we're dealing with groups and users, so this is still working, see in the background. So, and that can take some time. So we're going to keep that going because we got a lot of other things to do. So we're multitasking. All right, so we need to check our admins. There's actually two places you really need to check at all times that I usually recommend to my students. That is, so we're going to say get ent the group sudo file. So that's one main one. So it's Zuniga is good, Trizzo is good. Okay, pay good. I don't see an R Davis. So we have a D Snow that needs to be removed, and we have an R Davis needs to be added. So let's take one away, and we'll add, we'll delete and then add. So to change that up, you use the G password -D, and then the username. So it's D Snow, and then the group. And then to add, it's just the instead of a -D, you're going to be doing -A. So then the username, which is going to be R Davis, and then the group. All right. Okay, so that should match. We should have everybody correct now. And now we just need to do is let's check the other group that I like checking is the admin group. Admin, and there's nobody, and nothing came up. That means nobody's in it. That's fine. You can also double check it by doing grep admin group, and okay, that's LP admin. So there's no admin group. There's an LP admin, but not an admin group. So we're okay. We're good. So usually what I like doing next is at the same time as checking the sudoers file. So as we're doing this, we'll check the sudoers file. Sudoers file needs to be edited one way, and that's the vi sudo command. Do never edit the sudoers file with gedit or any other editor. It's got to be done through the vi sudo. There's special checks that are done with that, so you want to make sure that. So otherwise, you can lock yourself out. That's not good. So we're going to go through this, see if there's anything that's out of the ordinary. This line is kind of new. This is added, but there's nothing. It's just an alias. Doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't. So it is curious though. So we probably want to look for full timers down a little bit further down. That might be something we need. But you don't have to take this line out. It doesn't hurt anything. So we're going to go ahead and so you see where root is. That's fine. You want to keep that. The admin all equals all. That's fine, and that's your admin group. And we didn't have anybody in that group. Here's a sudo group. That's again the same as root and same as admin, so we're good there. Let's keep going. So here's full timers. So here's full timers. That's like saying that group up there, but that's saying all no passwords. They don't. So it's basically they're getting admin. They're getting admin rights, but they don't have to put a password when they start doing their items. That's a big no-no. So that's definitely we want to get rid of this line. So that's a security violation. So let's go ahead and delete that line. We're going to do a Control X, and we're going to say Y yet or yes for that, and then we're going to it's asking for the file name to write. Just hit Enter at this point. Alrighty. Let's see what else we have. So next thing we probably want to do is secure our guest account. The guest account is done in the light DM directory. So we're going to go to light DM. And let's take a look. We're looking for the light DM config file. It's there. If you don't have if it's not there, then you have to create it. It's not a big deal, but we want to. It does happen from time to time where you will not have that, but if you don't, you just need to create it. It's pretty easy. And the items that we need to have, let's go ahead and edit, gedit lightdm.conf. So we're going to go ahead. The big thing on this one is we actually have to, where is it? We actually make sure the allow guest equals false, right? So okay, that's fine. We'll just add that line. So allow dash guest equals false, and let's go ahead and save that. So let's see what happened here. We just that should be right though. Let's go ahead and update this, see what's going on. So it did increase our count here, but we also got a penalty. So our guest account has been disabled. So this is correct. That's fine. But then it says light DM needs to hide users. Greeter hide users should be true. So so this was false, but it should be true. So we need to change that to true. And if we save that, let's hope that we get our 5 points back that we lost. Okay, that's a good sign. All right, so I think we're going to be good there. Looks like we lost. Yep, we got rid of our penalty points. So that's good. We can get out of that. All righty. The next thing we want to probably do is do our password age policy. Password age policy is actually done in the login.defs file in the etc directory. So let's just go back to the etc directory, and we're going to say gedit login.defs. All right, and we're going to. I like to. Well, it's already there. I usually sometimes have to do a Control F and then type in PASS all caps, and that puts me down here a lot quicker. I'll double click on this one here and then change that to 90. This line, so max days is 90, the min days is 10, and warning age is 7. There's another item down here. There's one more line item I'd like to check on. Login retries. Keep that at 5. No more than 5. And then we'll go ahead and save it. All right, we're moving right along. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of that. And let's see if there's any MP3 files. Go find, and I'm gonna just look in the, I'm starting to home, and I'm gonna say type iname, which ignores the case for the name, anything MP3. And there's nothing, so we don't have to worry about deleting anything in the home directory for anything with extension MP3. So that's good. Doesn't mean there's not any other file that we knew that one file that we had to get rid of, the users, right? All right, let's go ahead and next thing we wanted to probably look at doing is setting up our firewall. So we're going to do set up our firewall. So UFW status. That's what the status is. It's inactive, so we need to activate it. So or enable it. So that's UFW enable. And if you remember, we actually have our critical service is OpenSSH server. So we want to allow SSH coming through. Really nothing else. So we need to allow SSH. So we need to create those rules. Again, while this is still updating, we're going to be going in and checking into our OpenSSH server and configuring that. That configuration is actually found in the SSH directory, etc/ssh directory. And the file on this one is this one here, the sshd config. So what we need to do is edit this one, sshd config. And there's a couple items in here. Login grace. So it's a lot of it's under the authentication line. So if I can grab the so we want let me grab here. So give me a minute. All right, like I said, what we're looking for on this SSH config is under the authentication. So we're looking for this 2 minutes or 120 seconds. Permit root login is no, we don't want to permit root login. Strict mode is yes. There's two other ones that we'd like to add on this one. Let me go ahead and copy and paste them in. And that is right after strict mode yes. We're going to max off tries 6 and then max sessions 10. And then we like to do a couple other things. If I can find it here. There is permit empty passwords. That's going to be no, right? So not recommended. So we say change that to no. And I think there's one more thing. If I can find it. X11 forwarding set to no. All right, we'll change that. We should get a couple points for this. Okay, then, so that's good. And let's go ahead and check our cron tabs table. So let's go ahead and get out of that one. And that's actually done. That's good. In fact, let me do the update while we're doing apt-get distribution upgrade. I'm going to do a -y on that. What this is going to do is anything that's our kernels and things like that. But it does more than kernels, but it's that's usually where the kernels happens on this one. So it looks like there might be a kernel coming in, a new one. So I think we're at 4.15.0-29. So it's the .129. So it's actually upgraded. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at our cron tabs tables. To do that, let me go back to the etc directory. So we're going to say cron tab -l. Okay, so what we're looking for inside this file, or is there anything that looks kind of funny, right? So, so this is the scoring engine. This was what the scoring engine that was in there before. I just commented it out, so don't worry about that. The focus is the new scoring engine. So again, I put a comment there saying do not touch it. It actually runs every 2 minutes. That's what this /2 does. But we do have something else that's not, we don't say don't touch, and that looks like it's running every 10 minutes. So what you might want to do before you delete anything is you want to check out what it actually does, right? So let's go ahead and do a cat on this file, cat set _password _perm.sh. So let's see what this does, print it out. So it's a bin bash file. And it's changing the permissions for the password file and the shadow file. So the password file it should be 644. The shadow file should be 640. So this is actually something that's going to reverse it on you once you change it. So this is running every 10 minutes. So we're going to stop this. Otherwise, you'd lose points, right? So if you change if you had changed the permissions on those files, and then somewhere in the next 10 minutes you'd hear the losing of points. So we're gonna stop this. We're gonna edit the cron tab table, and so the way to edit it, you say cron tab -e, right? So it's gonna go into edit mode for you, and all we're gonna be doing is we're gonna actually delete. We're gonna actually go ahead and delete this line, and then we're gonna say yes, and then enter, right? But let's go ahead and delete that file as well. We want to get rid of that file, so let's go ahead and remove the set password .sh permission .sh file. Let's get rid of it. Very good. We get points for that. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and change while we're at it. We're going to change the permissions for the password file. So that's 644, and that's for the password file. And then when that successfully runs, That's the double ampersand sign. We're going to also change the permissions on the shadow file to 640. We're going to all right. Let's see. We still. Oh, okay. So we need to. So that's done. So that's good. We're done with of doing all the updates. Just so you know that when you update the kernel, in order if there are points for it, and let's say we're at the end, we don't have the 100%, we'll have to reboot and see if that's if we get points for it. But so we'll see. So we want to do audit policies next. So we need to add some files. So that's apt-get install audit D, and we're going to say -y. Right. And we want to configure this, so we're going to say audit control -e and 1. So there we go. And then, so that's fine. So we just got the policy done. Let's go ahead and check the host file at this point. A lot of times the host files can get corrupted. So we want to, and that's off the etc directory anyway, so we're going to use gedit of the host. And there we go. All right, we actually have localhost is fine, Ubuntu is fine, but this one with Google is bad. So we need to delete that line. And we'll go ahead and save it. Alrighty. Just moving right along. Let's see what kind of score we have at this point. Let me go update this. We're 60 out of 100. We've got 25 out of 41. So we're definitely more than halfway. Doing quite well. All right, so we've already changed the permissions of the password file and the shadow file. If you want to see what those look like, just make sure they are, so you can say LL, shadow, and then list out the password. You can do both of them at the same time here, and they only will be, those only two are the ones that show. So remember, password's going to be 644, so this is 644, and the shadow should be 640. So again, this is rewrite for the owner. This is read for the group, and then this is read for all others. Okay. So we don't want the shadow to be read by any others, but we do need the shadow to be read and written by the root, but read only by the shadow group. So that shadow has all the passwords, so we don't want anybody to get into that shadow. All right, let's see. All right, this thing does not have anything with Firefox in there, so we're going to skip the Firefox. We're going to go ahead and next thing we're going to go ahead and install the library cracklib stuff to start our PAM files. So let's go ahead and install that. Apt-get install libpam libpam /cracklib, and we say -y. So -y again, it just for anything that says it prompts you with a yes no, it automatically defaults those to yes, so you don't have to. It doesn't wait for you. Not always good to say that, but if you know, that's fine. Okay, there's a couple files in here that we need to edit. So we're gonna there's I think at least 3 files that we're gonna be editing. So that's in the pam.d directory. So we're going to go to the pam.d, and they're the common files. So there's, I think, the account, the auth, and the password we're going to be dealing with. So we're going to start with the password file. So let me go ahead and gedit common /password. So the first one, now if you recall, the password age, we're dealing with password policy. But the password ages was done in the login.devs file. In this one, we're going to be dealing with remember, the length, and the complexity. So what we're changing here is we're going to be dealing with complexity first. So we want like the D credit, the U credit, the L credit, the O credit, and that's going to be done on the line. Make this a little bit bigger. So it's going to be on this pamcrack lib.so file. So we're going to actually go ahead and do a space here. Oh, there's too many spaces. So let me go ahead and just do one space between. So here's our line. It just wrapped, so it didn't create a line. So that's good. The other thing you want to do, the next thing you want to do is add. So what that does is you actually, so it's going to retry, 3 retries for each when you enter the password. The minimum length is 8. The diff OK, what that means is the user must enter at least 3 characters from the last password that was different. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? So, and then these are just credits for the minimum length. So let's see. So next thing we need to do is add remember equals 5 and min length equals 8. So this is part of the password history. Remember equals 5. Remember is the last 5 passwords. And again, forcing the password length of 8. So, okay. And now this is bad here. So it should not be MD5. It should be SHA-250. Should be SHA-512. So we need to change this SHA-512, and then we can add in our remember 5 and mid length 8, and don't need an extra line there. So, all right. So those are the couple items there. So there's at least 3 items there. We have our is the complexity portion, right? And then we make sure the encryption was correct at the SHA-512, and then that makes it harder to crack. And MD5 is a lot easier to crack than one of the SHA ones. And then we got to remember this. Remember 5 and mid length 8. So got them all done. Go ahead and save it. Okay, our next one is the lockout counter. That's in the common account file, and in this, and what this does, it ensures that the lockout counter is reset after a successful authentication. So we need to basically add a line at the top, as if it's almost is the first open line. That's right here. Just go ahead and copy that in there. That goes above. That basically goes above this line. This is just a comment. So this, I just put in the open one space and go ahead and save, which get points. Okay, the next thing is dealing with the lockout policy. That is the common.auth file. And on this one, we need to add this to the end. So remember, the last one just add beginning. This one adds to the end. So we're going to go ahead and add that to the end. And so this is basically saying after 5 attempts and they have a failure, they're going to be locked out for 1,800 seconds or 30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and save that. Alrighty. Okay. We've got 30 out of 40. Let's check our score. We've got 31 out of 41. Okay, we're doing pretty good. All right, so next thing we're going to probably do here is let's take a look at what's our net stat. Let's go back to the Etsy. So we have a net stat. I like to actually widen this when I do this part. So we have net stat. I'll give you 2 commands for this one, -AP, and then we grep, and then we pipe it out to grep and look for anything that says listen, and then we put a more on that so it doesn't just page through. We're looking for the first page. So we have a couple things here. DNS mask is okay. SSHD is okay. So this, anything you have colon, and then anything after the colon is your port. So they basically, what they're doing here is they're actually figuring out what type of port it is. That's the domain port. This is the SSH port, IPP port. CUPSD is good, fine. That's a print service. Now here's something HTTP. That's going to be :80 Apache. So we don't. The README doesn't say anything about having an Apache server, so we need to get rid of that. This one's an FTP server. We need to get rid of that one as well. And I think that's the 2. Now there's another. So there's at least 2 that we need to deal with. Let's show you another command. So that is the netstat-tulpn. A lot of people like this one, and you see this one we don't really need a more. So this one's actually telling us what the port ID is. So once you get to know the port IDs, it helps. So 22 is SSH, okay, and then port 80 is a web service, and then port 21 FTP, port 22 is also SSH. So again, we had two items, Apache 2 and VS FTP. So we're going to be looking at those packages, saying what the exact name is. It could be that, but we're just going to make sure. Sometimes egrep is better than grep. It stands for extended replicate. Look at Apache 2. And there are 4 packages we need to take care of. And there is an option. So when you get rid of a program, a package, there's the remove option, or you could do the purge. And we want to do the purge here. So I'll leave it up to you to research which one does what. But one is this one. In this case, we want the purge option, and we want all 4 of these. So we want to purge the Apache 2, and then we can put all these on the same command line, separated by spaces. Apache 2-bin, Apache 2-data, Apache 2-utils, and then we're going to say a -y. So don't if it prompts us for yes or no, it's going to default to a yes. And we'll let that run. If you remember, we had the VS FTP in there as well. VS FTP. More in there. Oh yeah, we had the D in there. So we're going to go ahead and remove that as well. So it's apt-get purge, and then VS FTP D. Oops. All right. So another thing we can do is also look for any crack programs or hacking programs. So we can say dpackage-l. I'm going to correct that. Let's do decrypt better actually. So anything with crack, or that's the vertical bar, hack. Let's see what's out there. And so we have crack, air crack NG. Now, not just because anything that has crack and is bad. So because remember we just added this library Pam crack, and that's good. So it looks like just one item is something we need to get rid of. So let's go ahead and purge that one. Apt-get purge air crack -g. We're say yes to that. Alrighty. Moving right along, let's see what our points look like. We got 34 out of 41. We got 7 more to go. All right, so, and moving right along. So we're going to be, one of the things is disabling the Control-Delete in Linux. And there's a config file that does that. So that's in the etc init directory, and that's in the Control-del conf. So we're going to actually go ahead and gedit this file. And so we need to comment this out and then save it. Okay, so comment it out. We're not going to delete the line. We're just going to comment it out. So next thing we're going to be trying to do is our send cookies. So let's do our send cookies. Kind of a funny there. That's dealing with preventing send flood attacks. I'll leave it up to you to research what that means. So that's actually in a file in the etc directory. Let's see if I can find it here. That's in the, so we need to do a gedit on the sysctl.conf file. And there's actually quite a bit that we need to add to this file. There's actually a whole, at the very bottom, we'll be adding quite a few items. So I'm going to say added these lines below. And so let me go ahead and copy all these lines. We're actually doing a bunch of different things. And we're going to copy that. And okay, so you can kind of see everything here we added. We're going to go ahead and save it. And now we need to put this into our system. The way to put that into our system is you have to run the sysctl-p. Okay, so next thing we're going to be doing, let's see where we're at on our, so we got 37 out of 41, so we got 4 more to go. Okay, great. Moving right along. So we need to, let's go ahead and install some antivirus. I don't think we did that yet. So apt-get install clam av clam tk. And we're going to say -y to just default yes. Not sure what happened to there. 30 out of 41 looks like it went up, not down. So, okay, 3 more things. Let's see, what did I miss? There may be some files that we missed to take out. Let me go ahead and go back to that. Okay. So some things that are usually, so we're going to look at depackage commands, and we're going to say, give me a list of anything. Let's do egrep. Anything nmap. Yeah, so we have nmap out there, so we're going to go ahead and remove that. apt-get purge nmap. So we don't have zenmap. Zenmap would have popped up there. And we're going to say, go ahead and say yes to that. All right. Another one that's usually popular is the Kismet one. So we're going to do check for that package as well, and we're going to just do. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, it does. Okay, so it does out there. So we're going to actually go ahead and remove it. apt-get purge Kismet and a -y. That's everything. So we're down by 1. So we're gonna reboot the machine and see if that is going to be. Get out of this. Get out of this. Hope that our Linux kernel is our final one. So let me go ahead and do it's not a shutdown. We're just going to do a restart. So right now we're at 40 out of 41, and so we're going to see if after we do our restart, whether our Linux kernel is our final one. So we're hoping that's it. Let's see what this thing says. So we've done quite a bit number of things. We've added we added antivirus software. We did all the forensic questions. So let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. All right, good enough. So let's go ahead and bring up the README, and there we go. And once we bring up the README, we'll bring up the, remember we have to add that tab. So let me bring this over here. Maximize. And then we need to add tab. And then go ahead and bring up the scoring report from the, this. So we got 2 points to go. We're 40 out of 41, so we're close. We're going to lose points here, so I want you to look at here where it says TCP send cookies and our log Martians. We're going to lose those when it catches up to us. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the terminal and get in my sudo su, and I'll show you sudo su. Alrighty. Should give us some that weird warning. We should get points, and it's going to subtract. Sometimes the scoring can take a little bit of time. So, but you can see we've changed people's passwords. I got all the password policies enabled, installed a bunch of software, got rid of, removed some of the Nmap, removed Apache. Okay, so very good. So you're going to see these send cookies go away here in a second. Let me go ahead and refresh it. So if you remember how we got them, we actually typed in sysctl-p. That's going to just refresh it from that config file. I'm not sure why it doesn't do it anyway, since we put it into a config file. So I'm going to go ahead and rerun it, and you'll see that we'll get those points back. So the lesson in this part here is that if you keep a track of everything that you've done, keep a log. I usually instruct my students to keep a log of everything that they're doing, all the points they've accumulated, what those points were part of. So if you did, something happened, you lost those points, you can get them back, right? Or if you had to redo an image for whatever reason, you can quickly get, you know exactly what you need to do to get all your points back. So, and once you know what you need to resolve, it goes a whole lot quicker than trying to figure it out, right? So that's the, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll put the image, a link to the image that you're welcome to copy, and hope this will help you in your Cyber Patriot competitions and practice. But feel free to use this anytime. Anyway, I hope you liked it. Enjoy, and good luck on all your Cyber Patriot stuff. So enjoy.